In this video, I'm going to be giving you a full tutorial on exactly how to use ElevenLabs' brand new conversational AI 2.0 platform. I'm going to be showing you all of the capabilities and features of the platform, and then I'm also going to be building a voice AI agent live using ElevenLabs Conversational 2.0. And by the end of this video, you have a completely free AI blueprint, including the prompts, the workflows, and everything that I use within this video to build a voice AI agent so you can implement it inside your own business or build a voice AI agent for the very first time for yourself. And if you don't already know me, my name is Ashton. I've been helping business owners implement voice AI solutions and AI solutions into their business to save time, cut costs, and drive growth. Without further ado, let's get right into the video and I'll show you how to use ElevenLabs. All right, so we're in ElevenLabs platform right now. And of course, if you are signing up for the very first time, go ahead and log in and you will be prompted to the dashboard within the conversational AI platform. So I'm going to be running you through everything you need to know, how to use this ElevenLabs platform, how to create these voice AI agents, how to create tools, custom functions, everything. So first of all, on this homepage, comparing it to a lot of other voice AI platforms like Vappy, Retail, of course, we've got the overview of the AI agent. So again, number of calls, again, for this last month, LLM costs, everything right here, success rate. So pretty standard for a voice AI platform on the start. And then down the side, we have different things. So we have the build section, which is be able to build the voice AI agents right here. A knowledge base section, which allows us to input files to give knowledge to the voice AI agent. Different tools and functions, so we can add these tools via webhooks, adding client tools, so giving the AI capabilities to do any custom function it wants, such as checking availability, creating appointments, doing everything. We've got voices right here, and this is really the main feature and the main, selling point of voice AI within ElevenLabs. And the main reason why, a lot of people are using ElevenLabs is because of their high quality of voices. We all know that ElevenLabs has, one of the best voices, if not the best voices to use for voice AI agents. And that's really the main reason why, their platform is so strong, because we already have all these inbuilt voices that ElevenLabs has. And we all know how good and realistic these voices are. And then from here, we've got the evaluate section. So essentially, we can go through all the AI agents and its conversations. Again, if we just go ahead and click on to a conversation that I've had, because I've been testing it recently, we can see all of the different things that within the conversation. So if we just go down to right here, we should be able to see the transcription. And then right here, we can see everything that has been said within the conversation. So we can even go ahead and go down to see where they've called tools right here. We can see the history of every single call within inside the conversation. Integration, so this essentially allows us to add, in this case, MCP servers or different integrations with inside ElevenLabs. I won't be diving too much within that section. And then telephony. So this allows us to, again, add numbers. We can add numbers from Twilio. We can add numbers from SIP trunking, which I'll get into later. And then finally, we have outbound. So this allows us to create batch calling via voice AI agents. And of course, I'm going to run through everything within ElevenLabs as well. And then of course, down here, we've got a little settings section right here. So yeah, that's just a quick summary of the platform. But yeah, all right. So first of all, you want to go ahead and click create agent. Don't worry about playground for now. New agent. Again, I'm going to be using a blank agent. You can use some of the templates that ElevenLabs have given you, but for this purpose of this demo and this overview and tutorial of ElevenLabs, we're going to go ahead and create a blank agent, which gives us a fresh start. From here, I'll use it as a plumbing agent because that's what I'm going to be doing in this example for, electricians, home services, etc. Right there, create agent. All right, sweet. So now we're in the main interface of the agent, and there's a few things that we can know here. Again, we've got the main configurations of the agent. We've got the system prompt, variables, which I'll get into. We've got the voice of the agent, so we can configure using all of ElevenLabs custom voice functions. Analysis, so analyzing the evaluation of all the conversations. Security, which I won't get into, just making sure the agent is secure. Advancements, customizing the AI agents, timeout, silencing features, max conversation duration, all these different things. And then widget, which essentially is just the chat widget right here, which is what you can see down there. So yeah, that's kind of the main interface of the agent. But yeah, let's get right into it. So first of all, language, we can have a bunch of different languages. If we go down here, Hindi, English, I'll just be using English in this sense. And you can also add additional languages as well. So this is the new feature that they've released with 2.0, which allows us, the AI agent, to switch in between and switch to languages. So for example, if we actually went ahead and select like Spanish or Slovakian, Russian, Romanian, we can have all these different languages within the AI agent. So I'll just go ahead and select Spanish for now, and I'll show you how that AI agent can identify language detection right here. So again, making sure we click that right here, and then it just says to support additional languages will override will be enabled. You can view and configure all overrides in the security tab. So right there, that's another great feature of ElevenLabs, allowing the user to switch between Spanish, English, and everything. And then from there, we have the first message. So the first message of the AI agent. So whenever someone calls this AI agent, in this case, we're going to be building an inbound AI agent. It's then going to present and say this first message. So we're going to say, hello, hello, sorry, we're not doing a prompt. Hello, this is Sam speaking from Flow Fix Plumbing. How can I help you today? Right, sweet. So that's gonna be the first message that is that the AI agent is going to be saying. And then right here, we can add variables, but again, this is a inbound voice AI agent, so we're not going to be adding any variables within the first message. And then from there, we're going to have the system prompt. Now, this is one of the most important things, a part of an AI agent. Again, you can get ElevenLabs to generate you a prompt, but in this case, I like to use my own prompting formula, which is what I'm going to be using in this video. So first of all is going to be the role of the AI agent. So again, I'm just going to be copying and pasting because I've already built a prompt for this video, as they do take a long time to get, build a good prompt. So that's why, I'm not building and writing out a prompt from scratch. But yeah, I'm just pasting in a prompt, again, saying the role of the AI agent, in this case, saying its name. So you are Sam, a calm, efficient, and professional virtual assistant for Flow Fix Plumbing. Your primary job is to answer customer calls and schedule service appointments. You must sound clear, helpful, and reassuring, especially since customers may be calling about stressful situations such as leaks. So again, I'm using a plumbing company, a plumbing business in this example, but of course, this can be very applicable for all these different other businesses. So then we're going to be using the current time via a dynamic variable, and I'll show you exactly how to add this within ElevenLabs. So again, the current time, which is system time zone, again, using the system of the computer in this example. Again, you could be using the time zone of, wherever you're at, Australia or America or whatever, right? But I'm going to be using the system time zone prompt. And to add that, you can go ahead and, of course, go down to, Pacific time. You can add the Pacific time variable. You can add all these different things, right? So you just go ahead and add your time zone in here. I'll just do Sydney for now. Click add new variable, and then we can do Sydney/Australia. See, that's how you can add dynamic variables inside the prompt. And again, dynamic variable is a dynamic variable that's going to change each time to the conversation. So it's going to auto-populate based on that dynamic variable. So for example, if it was a time zone, it's going to auto-populate every time for that user. If it was a name, if you were sending dynamic variables via a webhook on Make, which I do have a video, by the way, doing that, it's just going to auto-populate within every prompt. So having dynamic variables allows us to make the conversation really conversational, natural, and personalized towards the customer. And again, also help us send times via webhooks using the current time so the AI knows the time, and a bunch of these other different things. So that's what we're going to be doing. Again, we're using this current time right now to be able to book appointments, right? So that's why we need that time. And then from there, we have the task. So this is essentially how the AI agent is going to be conducting this conversation. So again, your main task is to handle inbound customer calls, to book plumbing service appointments. You use a 5-step process to gather information, check for available times, book the job, and notify the on-duty plumber. So we're going to be using a few different automations within this workflow. So again, I'm just pasting in this prompt that I built out. So just give me a second to paste this. The next is this step-by-step process on how we're going to be telling the AI agent to conduct the conversation. So I like to use steps when telling the AI agent what to do. So in this case, I'm going to be using a 5-step process. So if we just go ahead, again, I'm copying and pasting this prompt in. These are going to be all the steps. So again, step 1 is greet the customer and make sure to identify the issue. So greet the caller, introducing yourself, ask the reason for the call, and understand the plumbing issue. So in this case, again, we're using a voice AI agent for a plumbing business. So again, determining the customer, greeting the customer, and then determining the issue as well. From there, we're going to be collecting the customer's job information for the job, so we can then send via webhook and then send via text message to the plumber as well. So ask the customer's full name, best contact phone number. Again, we're going to be saving all these variables using a tool to then create an appointment, right? Ask for the full address where the plumbing service is needed, include the street name, number, and suburb as well. Read the details back to the customer to ensure they're correct before proceeding. And then we're going to be able to check availability from there. So once it's collected the customer and job information, it's then going to check an availability within inside a calendar. And then we're going to say offer an appointment task to the customer for the preferred date and time. Use the check availability tool to find a slot, and you must always check the times in the future using the time zone within inside the system. Then from there, when you're using the tool, make sure the time is in ISO 861 format. So for example, in this exact format, right here within inside the prompt. So making sure that it's in that format, just making it easier for the scheduling system and the software to book these appointments. And then from there, if the customer's time is unavailable, use the check availability tool again to find the next suggested closest time. From there, you must get the conversation of the available time slot before moving on to the next step. So again, making sure it's confirmed that time, making sure that time is available within the calendar of the business. And then from there, booking the appointment. Once the time is agreed upon, verbally confirm all the steps one last time. For example, okay, I've got you in for a booking, John Smith at 15, Apple Street for a block and kitchen sink. And then from there, once they have confirmed all those details, you then use the book appointment tool with the following inputs. So the name, number, address, issue, and time. So using those variables that is collected from the conversation and then putting them into a calendar system as well. And then finally confirming and notifying the plumber. So, most plumbers, on their phone, sending a quick text message saying that they've got a new job within inside their calendar, whether it's by email or text or SMS, letting them know that a new job has been booked is going to be the last step. So confirming the booking and then notifying the plumber as well. So again, using the book appointment tool, and then we have also a send SMS to plumber. So we've got 3 tools in this case, which I'll show you how to configure to do all these different things. And then from there, we just have a few more things within the prompt. So again, I have the context of the caller, so the context of the conversation. So again, letting the AI agent know the context in which it is calling or which the customer is calling. So again, the context is the agent acts as the first point of contact, as a virtual dispatcher for a plumbing business. It is designed to handle incoming calls, service calls, just letting the AI agent know why the customer might be calling, helps us personalize the conversation and make the conversation more natural and conversational. And then from there, finally, we have an example conversation. So an example conversation is really useful within inside a prompt to let the AI agent know how to act within the conversation using, an example conversation, when to call tools as well. As you can see right here, I've got, run appointment booking tool, book appointment tool. So letting the AI agent know when to call the tool, and then also letting the AI agent know how to stay on track. So for example, if someone comes out in the conversation, they start talking about random things that's not related to the main goal and the main task that the AI agent has, it's then going to try and push it back on track within inside the conversation. So this is really a really important step within inside the AI agent's prompt to prompt the voice AI agent. And then from there, I have a little bit of notes within the agent. So again, this is a comprehensive prompt to make sure the AI agent is performing at its best capabilities. So again, we've got the notes: use everyday conversational language, keep the responses short and natural, 2 to 3 sentences max, and then use their name throughout the conversation as well. So that's essentially all we have for the prompt. Again, it's the comprehensive prompt. This prompt now allows us to call tools, use dynamic variables, and do everything. So we're going to go ahead and click save. And then from there, this is the LLM. So the LLM, is the provider and the model that you'll use for the LLM. So yeah, again, it doesn't really matter what we're going to be using in this demo, but I do like to use GBT 4.1. Again, really efficient model that I would use in most of my builds. But for this example, this demo, I'll just use the default Gemini 2.0 Flash. Temperature, at this temperature basically means, it controls the creativeness of the prompt. So for example, if you have it down lower, it's going to stick more strictly to the prompt. And if you have it up higher, it's going to have more variability within its responses. So I just like to keep it, around mid, for example. So it just has a natural conversation. Limit token usage, we won't worry about that. And then knowledge base as well. So we can give the AI agent a knowledge base via a document right here. So again, I'll just generate a quick example of a knowledge base, using ChatGPT, and I'll show you how to add it as well. All right, so this is the knowledge base I'm going to be using. So as we answer and as we ask questions to the AI, it's then going to be using this knowledge base to reference and pull certain information out of. So again, I've just generated this by ChatGPT. So if you do want to add a knowledge base, this is exactly how I do it. It's really simple. Just go over to File. Again, I'm just using Docs, download, do it as a PDF. Go back over to ElevenLabs, click Add Document, Add Files, drag it in, boom. That easy to add a file. So now, each time the AI agent gets asked a question, it's now going to refer to that knowledge base. And just to make sure that it does this, I'll just say each time the customer asks you about a question related to the business, make sure you use the knowledge base. So yeah, now each time the customer asks a question, it's just going to use that knowledge base every single time. So that's exactly how you can have a knowledge base. Again, I've just made sure to prompt it with inside the agent. And then from there we have the tool. So this is the important part of the AI agent. This is going to be how we're going to create the check availability tool, book appointment tool, and then the send SMS tool. So how tools essentially work is there are certain tools and information we can use to send via webhook to automation platforms like Make.com, NAN, to then process bookings, process automations, check a calendar availability, search up databases. So combining the availability and combining the capabilities of voice AI and then also automation platforms. So the capabilities are pretty much limitless to what we can do, because we can now send information via voice AI to automation softwares and automation platforms right here. So again, these are just the standard tools that ElevenLabs have in. We have the language detection again, which works really good with inside ElevenLabs. And then I'm also going to flick on the end call, because this is an inbound call. This is an inbound conversation. We want the AI agent to end the call so it can save us some tokens and save us some money potentially for whatever reason if the customer doesn't hang up. So and then from there we have the custom tools. So this is going to be the part where we are able to check availability, book appointments, and then also send that SMS to a customer. In this case, it's going to be the first tool or first custom tool we're going to be using is a check availability tool. So I've already built this tool, but I'll show you exactly how it works right now. So go ahead and add it. We can see this is how the tool is structured. So right here, I've got the name of the tool, and the most important thing about this is to make sure that the tool name is the exact same within inside the prompt and then also within inside the tool section. So you can see right here, I've got check availability as the tool name. And then the description, this is the description describing or contacting the LLM. So in this case, it's Gemini Flash, I believe, on what the purpose of this tool is. And then from there, we have the URL and the method. So the method in this case is going to be a webhook. So that's going to be via a post method. And then the URL is the URL of the webhook address. So in this case, I'm actually going to be using Make.com for this automation to able to send information there to then further check availability. So if we just go over to Make.com, and I'm going to create a fresh new workflow to show you how this exactly works. Let's give it a bit, and then I'm going to import a blueprint. Of course, if you do want this blueprint that I've used in this video, it's going to be available complete for free in the link description below. I'll do check availability. Again, this is a blueprint that I've used within Make to check availabilities of a calendar. So again, I'm just going to quickly unlink this for now. Go over to here, add a new webhook, and we'll just do ElevenLabs webhook. Add that, save. and then copy this address right here. So now ElevenLabs is going to be sending that information to this URL address right here. And then from there, we need a few other things. So all we need is the time of which the customer has requested. So the LLM is then going to gather and get that time. In this case, it's going to be in ISO format. So in order to do that, we need to add a property. So just go ahead and add a property, and then you're going to need to name the identifier as time, the data type, which is string. So if you're wondering what that is, if you go to I'll just save it quickly. If we go to edit as JSON, this is going to be the type of data it's going to be in. So when it's sending it to make, it's going to be sending it as a string type of data to then process. And then again, I've got the description, so letting the LLM know the purpose of this property. So yeah, that is basically what it's doing. So now we can go ahead and test this webhook to make sure that we have some information. So again, everything's all good. Just add required in there, and then click save up there. And then I'm going to import a blueprint, which I've already pre-built because it'll just take way too long to build this. And then we need a book reservation. So after it has checked in availability, it's then going to use this simple automation to book an appointment. So again, we're going to need that webhook address for this automation. Again, I'll show you exactly how this automation works and everything within Make, but I'm just showing you how to set up the tools inside N8N at the moment. So we'll do book appointments, and then we'll do ElevenLabs right here. So just giving the webhook a name, and then it's going to give us that webhook address that we can then paste into ElevenLabs. So go back over to ElevenLabs, add tool, and then book an appointment tool. So I'll run you through this tool because it is a little bit different compared to the last tool we had. We just have a few more properties that that the AI needs to collect. So again, making sure we're pasting that URL inside that URL section right here. Again, making sure the method is post, and the name is going to be book appointment, and then the description is going to be just letting the AI know the purpose of this tool, which is to book an appointment for the customer. And then from there, we have a little bit more detail within these parameters. So again, we've got the number of the customer. We've got the address. In this case, of course, we're going to need a service address because this is a plumbing business. And then we have the email of the customer, and then we've got the time of the customer, and then we've got the issue, and then the name of the customer. So we've got 5 different things, again, using the same format that we use to collect the time, but we've just got more variables that we need to input when booking the appointment, so it can then show up on the plumber's calendar and then show up on the plumber's text message as well. So again, we're going to need all these things. As we have already prompted the AI agent, it's going to know and auto-populate all of these different values right here. So yeah, essentially, of course, if you do want all these JSON formats, I'll just go ahead and copy this, and you can paste it into your ElevenLabs thing right there. So yeah, that's exactly how this tool is set up. So now we can go ahead and test both of these tools, and I'll show you how everything works. I'll show you how the configuration works and everything. So let's get into it. Right, so now that we have the tools configured, I'm going to exactly show you how the automations run in Make. So first of all, I just wanted to demo the agent so you can see how the workflows are going to work in real time. And then I'll show you how everything is set up so you understand how it works. So let's get into it. Let's demo this agent right here by clicking Call Agent.
Hello, this is Sam speaking from FlowFix Plumbing. How can I help you today?
Hey, how you going? I'd just like to book in a service appointment, please. I've got a really leaky tap and it's an emergency, so.
I'm doing well, thank you. I'm sorry to hear about your leaky tap. I can definitely help you get that sorted out. Can I start with your full name and the address where the leak is, please?
No problem. So it'll be Ashton Voss, and the address is 123 Main Drive in Brisbane.
Thanks, Ashton. And what's the best phone number to reach you on?
It'll be 0458 728 158.
Okay, so just to confirm, that's Ashton Voss at 123 Main Drive in Brisbane, and your number is 0458728158. Is that all correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, Ashton, since this is an emergency, let me check the soonest availability for you. What day and time would you prefer?
Could you do tomorrow at maybe 8 a.m.?
Okay, let me check if we have availability for tomorrow at 8 a.m. One moment, please. Great news, Ashton. That time slot is available. So, just to confirm, I have a booking for Ashton Voss at 123 Main Drive for a leaky tap tomorrow at 8 a.m. Is that all correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, great. I'm booking that in for you now. Can I also get your email address?
Sure, no problem. It's ashtonvoss123@gmail.com.
Okay, Ashton, your appointment is booked for tomorrow at 8 a.m. I'm sending the details to our plumber right away.
Right, so if we just check the new appointment, we can see right here, new job. So this will be in perspective of the plumber's calendar. We can see new job for Ashton Voss right here. And then we've got all the details right here, leaky tap, time, everything. So yeah, that's exactly how this voice AI agent can book these appointments, check availability, and do all those different things. So let me just dive into these two automations right here. I'll explain how it works. And yeah, so let's get into it. So first of all is the check availability for the job. So using that webhook from ElevenLabs that we have inside the tool section, if we just go back over to here, within the tool section, we have the time that the AI agent has identified. So it's using that URL method as you saw in that quick demo to then send the appointment time of the customer that has been requested. So we can see right here that time has come in here with the appointment. It's then contacted OpenAI to get the time in my time zone, which is GMT plus 10. It's then gotten free or / busy information using a calendar system. So in this case, I'm just using Google Calendar. If we just dive into this module right here, we can see here that we're using the result of the OpenAI model in the previous step, because how Make.com works, it's more of a linear automation software rather than N8N I've used in my previous videos. But yeah, we're using we're using OpenAI to get that time in GMT plus 10, and then we're going ahead and it's checking if that time is available. And if it is available, it's then going to go down this path and then send back availability by a webhook response. So we can see right here, result, great, the time you have selected is available. Let me go ahead and book that for you. So in this case, that time of, if we go back to the calendar right here, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. was available within inside the calendar. So then it can go ahead and book that appointment. And then from there, if that time isn't unavailable based on this model, it's then going to go down this route, which is the unavailable route, to then find more times within that requested time slot. So as we can see, if it is unavailable, it will go down here and then it will use this tool set as variable. So essentially what this is doing is just setting a variable tool within inside Make for us to use. So again, from there, it's then going to use that variable within inside Google Calendar. So we can see the minimum time. So this is checking for more slots within that time slot that it's requested. So the minimum time is going to be the day right here of the requested appointment. The maximum time is just adding on 24 hours to that time. So now it's going to check all the available times within a 24-hour period of the previously requested time. Then from there, we're formatting that into a JSON, and then we're converting it to GMT plus 10. So right here, we have an OpenAI model just to convert that time into GMT plus 10. And of course, if you do want this entire, workflow, the prompt, everything, I just will leave it down in the description. So you can just implement it into your Make.com workflow and everything should work all good. So right there, we've got the time slots in JSON string. And then from here, I just have a little prompt message saying, your role is to convert the provided times from GMT plus 10. So again, we have a developer system, which is a system model prompting the AI. And then we have the user's input, which is this string right here. And then from there, we have the finding the alternative times. So from now, once we do have those time slots, it's then going to find alternative times using the OpenAI model. So right here, we can see your role is to output the alternative times that the user can book in for. You must only output the result in JSON format. Do not output it in any text. And then right here, we're basically prompting the AI agent to find 3 alternative time slots within 60 minutes. So then from there, that's pretty much the prompt. Again, I'm not going to go too much in detail in this prompt, but we can see we're just putting in the time that it is transferred from UTC and then also alternative time slots as well. And then from there, once it's found the alternative times, it's then going to generate the message to the user and then send it back. So really all this short workflow, again, this is pretty basic for the demo. All this workflow is doing is it's getting busy information. So it's getting all the time slots within 24 hours. it's converting it to GMT, it's using OpenAI to find alternative times, and then it's just sending a message back to the user. So this is exactly how we can check availability within a system. And then from there, we have the final automation. If we go back over to the tools right here, again, we have all of these different parameters. So we've got the number, we've got the description, data type, address, email, time, and issue and name. So once the AI has collected all those values, it's then going to run this simple automation right here, which essentially, again, having a webhook to connect make to retail, and then it's just going to create an event in Google Calendar. So as you can see right here, that's all of the information that has been collected from ElevenLabs. So using those variables within ElevenLabs, and then we're putting it in as an event name. So if we go back over to here, we can see that that event name is going to be that title there for the time, 2025 at 8 a.m. The start date, which is just going to be the start date time that we have collected, the confirmed time after checking availability, the issue, and then all of these other details down here, which will be in the description. Again, the duration, so letting, make know how long it's going to last for. If it was 45 minutes, would put 45 minutes. If it's an hour, would put an hour, like I've done right here. So again, that end date is calculated based on the duration of the appointment. And then from there, the description is just putting in all those variables. So again, just dragging in all those variables right there. Location, again, I haven't really done anything. You could even go ahead and, probably put the address right here. I'll do that actually. Attendees, so this is the attendees of the person. So we're just using the name and then the email as well. And then clicking save, and yeah, that's about it really. So, and then sending that information back by webhook. So yeah, that's exactly how you can configure those two exact tools via ElevenLabs, using that webhook within inside ElevenLabs, and using all those properties and features to be able to check availability, and book appointments as well. Just one of the many use cases that we can use ElevenLabs for. So yeah, that'll be about it for this video. So hopefully that gives you a good understanding on how to create a voice AI agent using ElevenLabs, how to do the prompting, how to do the tools and structuring as well. So yeah, that'll be about it for the end of the video. And of course, if you are a business owner and you are looking to build a voice AI agent just like this, as you've seen in the video, or if you've got any questions about AI and how AI can be implemented into your business, feel free to book a free discovery call in the link in the description below. And of course, it's completely free AI agent. This template, the prompt, the workflows, everything will be available to download completely for free in the link in the description below. But without further ado, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.